Okay, Colt, your box has arrived. I'm gonna get you opened up, have a look. Okay. All right. Such a cool watch. UFO. All right, let's see what we got here. You have sent a 1972 6106 7107, which is this extremely interesting diver, sport diver that Seiko came out with in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Such an interesting design. I really like these. For one, you know, it's got this completely symmetrical with an inset crown case, 4 o'clock of course for the crown. You know, this one has, you know, it looks great. I mean, it's certainly been worn. Let me take a little closer look here, but everything in terms of dial, hands, loom, looks fantastic. I think once we get your crystal changed out, you're going to see a major transformation in the look of this watch. It doesn't seem to have any real dial issues. You get them sometimes, and they're a bit mottled in terms of the coloration of the paint. But you can see the markers themselves have the loom at the tops of the markers, and they are still very crisp and white with this big triangle here. That still functions exactly as it should. This inner turning bezel looks nice. Resist text, and of course resist on the dial. Good brushing still. You know, it's got its bumps and its wear, but it has preserved all of the lines and the good brushing. These were a high polish on the sides and sort of radial brushing on the top. I should say azimuthal brushing, not radial. Yeah, it's a good little watch. It's on an OMB, short for Old Man Bracelet, which is kind of funny. I wish I could claim that as the originator, but this is a Speidel style. I like these on rubber straps. I think they look pretty good. Of course, we'll clean these are really hard to get clean. They sort of get all this guck and grime and awfulness in there. And this one's a little bit worn. I would be very careful with this one because you can see this. There's literally a weak link in the chain, as is this one. The springiness has sort of left the building as it was. So, you know, it's not worth it to drop the watch if in case that gives out. There's tiny little pieces of stainless hold these things in place, and man, if they let loose, you're in trouble. But we'll get there. Does not look like it's been opened or messed with very much over its life. Certainly needs a good clean. Let's go ahead and I'm going to take your bracelet off, and I'm going to take your case back off, and we're going to have a good look at the movement and give it a sense of where we're starting. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, cool. Let's have a look together. Okay, so looks like somebody was in here perhaps in the 90s. I see a 90. Nope. Maybe that's 86. 786. So, wow. Something about July. July 86. This saw service, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's not so bad. Looks clean, very clean, in fact. One thing I did notice, and I'm not sure if we had talked about this, I can't remember our conversation off the top of my head. I have to go back and look. But when I was looking a bit more closely, your day is sort of stuck in the middle, which can often mean that the gear that's associated with the day disc has turned, and I can turn those back and get it realigned, so that should be fine. But that is definitely something we're gonna have to fix. Otherwise, super clean, really nice. This is a 6106 17 joule movement, which is essentially the cousin or the very close relative of the 6105, of course. These have the same day-date changeover process as a 6139 chronograph, so it's a push in for the day and date rather than a pull out and turn for the divers. And that's really the one thing that separates these. Otherwise, the movements are very similar to train bridges and the wheels and all that. Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's get it on the timegrapher and have a look and see how it's performing, and we'll be right back. Okay, well, Colt, this one is definitely in need of service. I mean, but what makes me quite happy is that the signal is clean. All right, so that says that the balance and the hairspring, which are very, very delicate and important pieces of the function of the watch, are in good shape. So that's very, very good. If this was a big snowy mess of points, then you're starting in a very different place than where we are with your watch. So certainly needs a service, definitely needs to be adjusted. You're losing time and beat error is bad, but that will, of course, automatically and sort of by just the definition of what we're doing will change as we service it. But low amplitude, that number is pretty low, and we will get it better. That's what the service process does. Yeah, let's get back to the bench. All right. Okay, Colt. Well, I think we're in a good starting position. The watch looks really nice. I really like the way this one appears. It has really good presence, hands, dial, loom, everything, case, all in very nice shape. Movement is clean and ready to be serviced. We'll go through the whole process like we discussed on email. I'll send you this video. We'll have a little conversation. I'll get started and we will get your watch spruced up and ready to come home. Okay, thanks, Colt, and thanks for watching.